Do you ever have a moment in time where you just sit back and think, wow, I can't believe that just happened? Well, my new friend Beau blew my mind at Miatas at the Gap this year. Cheers to him. So you guys mean a lot to me. I don't say this lightly, and I don't talk about this much, but running this channel is actually a lot of work, and sometimes it feels not worth it. For example, I was on my way to Miatas at the Gap, which you all heard about in that video, if you watched it at least. But yeah, crashed my drone on my way out there, which like literally ruined my whole weekend, or at least sent me into a really sad mentality going into it. I almost didn't want to make a video anymore, but I have to remember, it's not about the technology used to make the video, it's about the heart behind it. And I've always wanted to make content that I wanted to watch no matter what I had to use to make it. So many of you guys came up to me at Miatas at the Gap and said encouraging things. You said you enjoyed the content, you found some things useful, some modification videos, you were like, hey, that's a great idea, I appreciate it. And you even gave me advice on what I could maybe do better, things you wanted me to cover, make videos on. I love that so much, and I don't say that enough. And then my friend Beau comes up to me with this. He was like, hey, I brought this up from Florida. Yeah, he schlepped this thing up from Florida, which, I mean, it's only Georgia, so not, or South Carolina, wherever Miatas at the Gap was. So it wasn't across the country, but still carrying this in a Miata, it's not like nothing. And he was like, hey, this didn't work for my needs. I think he has an NC1. And so this is the NC2/NC3 Carbon Miata Diffuser. Honestly, I don't exactly know how this is gonna turn out, but it's a good challenge, a good trial for me, because I'm kind of exploring the world of Plastidip. So, going to mount this thing today, turn it black, and we'll see how it goes. So again, this is specific to the NC2 and NC3. The NC1 rear bumper is actually slightly different. And this is the raw fiberglass one from Carbon Miata, which is actually the exact same finish as my spoiler before it was wrapped. Once again, Logan wrapped that, so it used to look like this, and now it looks like that, which is really cool. This could maybe be wrapped, although probably a bit challenging with those curves, and honestly, it's sitting down there, so I don't know if I want to really put much effort into something that looks awesome. I want to see how this turns out. This is a good experiment for me and for you guys, if you want to laugh at my expense maybe. So this is going to be another part of my ground effects series, part 2 out of 3. So hopefully you've already seen my side skirts video, but this is the diffuser video. Let's see how this works. I'm going to Plastidip this black. My friend Ahmad is Plastidip king in my opinion. Well, not really, but he's done a lot of that with various car parts. So he kind of helped me with my wheels for the winter. So I'm also gonna do this. First things first, prep this, get it really nice and clean so that the Plastidip can adhere correctly. And then we'll just hit it a bunch with black Plastidip. And then with the last level of Plastidip, add glossifier to make it not quite as dingy matte, more like nice shiny matte maybe. That's all the theory, the working theory. We'll see what actually happens, but I'm excited. This is pretty cool. And I think to mount it, we'll probably use some combination of 3M and self-tapping screws, which I have all of that on standby. So let's get to it. It's a beautiful day for working on the car. All right, quick pause, quick update. This is kind of the first coat, which obviously it's not gonna look like the final product yet. So using Plastidip, learning how to use this stuff. So the idea is to kind of get a pretty even, which I know it looks a little splotchy, but I promise it's fairly even. Get even coat on the first one, hold it roughly 6 to 10 inches away from the surface. Nice even back and forth or up and down. Typically I think people do kind of back and forth on one coat and then up and down the next coat. So the first one is really to just kind of get kind of a base layer and then build on that. So this is the first of probably 4, I don't know, maybe 5 coats. I'm going to use the entire can on just this one piece. So I have a second can just in case, but I really want to make it fairly thick. So yeah, it's already looking pretty cool. Actually, this is a really cool effect. Like, I wish I could have a car painted this way, which I'm sure is possible, but yeah, we'll see how this turns out. But that's one down, a few more to go, and then you let it dry for about 30 minutes in between coats. So really within 2 hours, this should be done, ready to mount. Maybe I'll let it dry more after the last one. So it is 11:43. So yeah, about 12:15 for the next one. And then, yeah, I'm gonna try to have it done by the end of the afternoon, get it mounted. Can't wait to see how the car turns out after today. Once again, be sure to check out other videos that are either done or coming. I'm doing like 5 videos today, so I don't really know the full output or when they're gonna be out. Be sure to check out the splitter, the side skirts video as well, and the front splitter is happening. In theory, they're all happening. So that's my kind of fun long day planned. What are you doing on your car lately? I would love to hear you guys what you're doing on your Miatas. Do you have any winter projects coming up? Any, well, I guess summer's a ways away, but any summer projects planned for next year? Or are all your cars on jack stands? All right, here's 2 coats. Getting better. The white is pretty much disappeared. It's still like a little bit light in some areas. Trying to keep it as even as possible while still hitting all the crevices. It's a little harder than I expected, but it's coming together. So there's a couple things I want to mention. One, work in a heavily well ventilated area because, yeah, this stuff smells strong and probably not good to breathe in. If I had to guess, I'm no doctor, but I'm a human with a nose, and it doesn't smell that super pleasant. The other challenge, though, with a well-ventilated area like the outdoors or nearly outdoors like I am, is dust or debris that can kind of get in the way with Plastidipping. Definitely happened a bit on my wheels. They're not perfect, but I never meant them to be perfect. They're winter wheels. They're like my rugged, I don't know, not really off-road, although I do take it off-road, so it's fine. But yeah, like there's a little bit of fuzz that has kind of flown in, I think, and it's a bummer. But also, this is the part you like see the least because it's like underneath the car, so not too worried about that. I'm just gonna like Plastidip over it as it happens. Fortunately, the top part that you will see, I don't see any sort of fragments of things happening, so that's good. But oh, it's coming together. It looks good. I'm excited. Okay, here it is. Not like super uniform, but this is 4 coats of Plastidip, 2 light coats of Glossifier, and I'm pretty happy with it, honestly. Especially, it's going to be down on the bottom of the car, so that's how it looks right now. Going to mount it under the car. I think it's probably dried enough. It's been sitting out here a little while. And side note, the way I got the upper side of this was setting it on top of other Plastidip cans. Plastidip life hack. Yeah, it looks pretty good on all corners. And then this side right here on the inside is where I will be putting the 3M stuff to mount it. So going to wipe that down and also wipe down along there where it'll be mounted. But we'll get the car in the air. If you don't know, you can jack up the car using the rear differential. And I do have the front wheels blocked so it doesn't roll backwards. I'm almost flat, but like a tiny bit of an angle. And then I can put jack stands down. So yeah, because of these side skirts, which are now on the car, go watch that video on how to do that. The jack stand placement will be interesting. I don't think I can use a pinch weld anymore for jack stands, which is fine. There's other places to use them, but food for thought. Ground effects are not super practical. Here goes nothing. So upon first inspection, as I suspected, this will hide the exhaust tips a little bit more. They'll still be noticeable, but they won't stick out as much, which I think I'm okay with. There is actually an appearance package version of this exhaust, the Super Q, which I don't know if they actually still make, but that would give you longer tips if you really cared. I don't think I care, so it's getting hot. Can't believe winter's coming. So I'm gonna hit the surface pretty well with some detail spray where the 3M is gonna go. So for all these ground effects, I did buy 1/4 inch, 1/2 inch, and full inch with 3M tape. This one, I'm gonna use the 1/2 inch stuff, see how that works. I think it might be just malleable to match the surface as best as I can. See if it lets me curve it along the edges. It's a little easier to work with than some wrap. But it's not perfect. Okay, here goes nothing. Oh God, I'm gonna screw this up. Okay, I think it's lined up. Now I just keep pressing for a bit. This might have been easier with 2 people. So it's pretty much perfect fit. Kind of like the Carbon Miata spoiler, it's like not 100% perfect, but I'm gonna say like 95. I think it looks good. That's important. But the only challenge is I don't know if my screws are long enough now that I'm looking at this. All right, before I wrap it up, call it quits for the day, this is kind of what it looks like. It's on there, and all the 3M seems to be sticking pretty well, but my self-tapping screws, as I thought, were too short. Those screws should work. Well, they did work for the side skirts, and they should work for the front splitter. But for these, the existing holes that Carbon Miata provides, there's like, I don't know, an inch of space before it hits the thing underneath it. So that's a problem for a screw that is only an inch. So I'm gonna go get some drinks with some friends and leave this on jack stands. Yeah. For now. I'm gonna probably go get long self-tapping screws, but I'm gonna see how it holds up and see how it feels later, try to like pull on it a little bit. I still think I should get the screws just to play it safe, because this thing just, I'm guessing, like collects wind as you're driving, which would probably just pull it off eventually. So I don't think I trust just the 3M, but we'll see. We'll find out later. So quick update. I've been driving around with the diffuser on the car as it is, and hi, there come all the dogs, and it's been holding on just fine. I actually have driven out to Grand Junction at this point. I'm with Brandon from Flywheel Miata, and it got here with no screws needed. 3M has held it on perfectly, but looking at it together, we thought, we better do the screws just in case. So let's jump to the garage where me and Mike from Flywheel Miata install the screws on the diffuser, which gives us peace of mind. Okay, now the car's up in the air. These screws seem to be much better than the ones I had as far as the right length. So I've been placing them in here. That's a little bit extra room, so screw that in. It'll make me feel better. I mean, granted, I've done like 85 miles an hour on the way here, and it didn't fly off. But instead of counting my luck, may as well just screw it in and feel safe. But these are just long enough to grab some of the underlying bumper, because that's basically what they tap into. These self-tapping screws will tap into the bumper underneath the diffuser, I guess the factory diffuser, which is not really a diffuser, it's just painted black bumper. So get these put in, and then I'll feel better going the other 3,500 miles. It's snugged up, looks good with a little bit of hardware instead of empty holes, and I feel better going through the desert at somewhat high speeds, legally, allegedly. And yeah, you can see even how it syncs up. So that's why my other screws wouldn't work that I use for the diffuser, because, or the side skirts, because there's the gap between there. So we got, yeah, you can kind of see where they are going up through the bumper. Made nice little crunchy noises that made Mike very uncomfortable. But that's the solution. So works, looks good. Plastidip has held up so far. All right, bring her down. So that's it. That's been it. The Carbon Miata Diffuser is installed. It's ready. The 3M held really well, better than I expected. And I honestly, if I had just done the 3M a little bit better, I don't even know if I would worry with the screws. But because I had the screws, I thought may as well do that. Now I feel even better with all 6 screws in place, plus the 3M. So it's done. And I would film the outro with the car, but instead I'm surrounded by dogs. So yeah, thanks so much for watching. Let me know what else you want to see on this Miata, but this is the second of 3 ground effects videos. Stay tuned for the front splitter, and stay tuned for all my upcoming stuff. For a teaser, right now I'm in Grand Junction on my way to Miata Reunion in Sonoma. So that'll be a whole lot of fun, and hopefully all these ground effects hold on that whole time. So you'll be the first to know if anything happens, because drama makes for fun / horrifying content. But yeah, we'll see you soon. Hopefully I see you guys at Miata Reunion, and stay tuned for the next and final episode of my ground effects, installing the front splitter. And then all 3 are done and the car looks sick. And yeah, that's been great. Good project. The diffuser, really not so bad. The Plastidip came out great. Everything came out great. Let me know if you have any questions. Let me know if you have any recommendations. What did you do with your diffuser? Did you paint it, wrap it, Plastidip it, leave it raw fiberglass because you're chaotic? Actually, I think that'd be kind of cool, low key. And thank you, Beau, so much for this diffuser. I genuinely means so much. I think it's an awesome addition to the Miata. So yeah, cheers. Ta-ta for now. You gonna say bye? Say bye. Here comes Hank. Hank. Remember Hank from the Flying Miata shop tour? Yeah, this is Hank.